we're gonna get in this right quick. Basically, as a police officer, pulls somebody over. Apparently, is the chief of the department in an undercover car. Doesn't even turn on lights and sirens, and I believe he was speeding or ran the light or something like that. But points a gun at him, assaults him, and then turns around and lies and says the biker did it. So we're just gonna take a look and see how some of these police officers act, because you gotta remember, man, police officers are very powerful. They can hold you, they can technically kidnap you, take you down to jail. You know, it's one of those few times where one man has power over another man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when stuff like this happens, they shouldn't get second chances. Not like you go to the Dollar Tree and somebody behind the counter, the worker there has a bad attitude. It's not the same as a police officer violating your rights, committing battery on you, using excessive force, cuffing you up, and like I said, basically handicapping you, kidnapping you. So anyway, let's take a look in this news article, and we're gonna see what's going on real quick.
A Lancaster County shopping center shows the moments a local police chief pulled a gun on a 24-year-old motorcyclist last month. Thanks for joining us for Fox 43 News at 5. I'm Amy Lutz. The new video seemingly contradicts prior police reports about the incident, and charges have since been dropped. Fox 43's Matt Kleindens joins us live from Manheim Township now with the very latest. Matt?
Amy, on May 2nd, Manheim Township Police announced that they had arrested 24-year-old Benny Pena Rivera after he allegedly shoved Chief Dwayne Fisher and resisted arrest during a traffic stop a couple days prior. However, Pena Rivera says that the security video tells a different story from that day. This security video shows the moment Manheim Township Police Chief Dwayne Fisher pulled a gun on a 24-year-old man after an alleged traffic violation.
If it wasn't for that video, nobody would actually believe what I was saying or anything.
Benny Pena Rivera is demanding answers after this interaction on April 30th landed him in jail and facing multiple charges. Pena Rivera says he was riding his motorcycle to his job at Wingstop prior to the incident and briefly saw Chief Fisher on his way.
I actually saw him on the road on the traffic light that he said that I ran, but he actually waved at me and everything, like, hello. And everything just went normal.
After parking his motorcycle, Pena Rivera was approached by Fisher, who wasn't wearing a police uniform and didn't have his police lights on in his unmarked car.
All I heard it was on the ground.
So, as you see right here, he doesn't have his lights on. Now, so basically on the motorcycle, and somebody pulls up in just a regular car, this doesn't really even look like one of your common, marked police cars, but just not marked. And then he jumps out and points a gun at you. Now, me personally, I probably would have initially taken it as a threat. Now the cop had to jump on you because he's getting out pointing a gun. But if he was slipping something, you might think you might want to pull your gun and shoot him. You know what I'm saying? Who knows if he says anything about being a police? He definitely doesn't look like one. Doesn't he have it? Like, he had the license signs in the car. Why wouldn't he turn it on? And then just like, why would he just go up there so aggressively to the person? Like, why did he get out the car with a gun? Like, if you run a stop sign, you run a red light, cops don't come up to your window be like with a gun and then ask you for license register. What did the motorcyclist do that the officer thought he was armed and dangerous that he needed to jump out and assault this guy? And basically pointing a gun at somebody is assault. Just doesn't make any sense. I mean, like, look like the cop was probably off duty, because look at how he's dressed. But he saw somebody, I don't know, making a minor traffic violation, and he had to jump out and be the police superhero, while he's off work, and he doesn't do the proper things like put on the lights, put on the sirens. He's not even in uniform. You know what I'm saying? What do people think? Some plain clothes guy just jump out at you? We just supposed to believe you the police? Like I said, he had to jump on him, but if not, I wouldn't be upset that motorcyclists pulled this gun out on him. You know what I'm saying? Because up until the gun pull, the police officer gave no indication that he was a police. So let's see what the rest of this does here.
Ground, I would shoot you. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? What's the reason for all this to be happening at all? And all of a sudden, I just have a gun on my face, like, literally on my face, and then on top of that, he's wrestling with me with the gun and everything. If it wasn't because I actually flee out of the season, I don't even know what would even happen.
Chief Fisher would later turn on his police lights after Pena Rivera fled on foot. In a May 2nd Crime Watch post, police say Pena Rivera ran a red light, rode up on the sidewalk, and weaved between vehicles before being stopped. They say he was arrested for ignoring Chief Fisher's orders and using his bike to push him down before running away. On Wednesday, Lancaster County District Attorney Heather Adams announced that they were dropping all criminal charges against Pena Rivera, saying, quote, "The Manheim Police Department and the parties agreed to the resolution of charges in this manner based on the facts and circumstances of this case." Pena Rivera says he's calling for Chief Fisher to take accountability for his actions that day.
I really want to make justice to go the way it should be, because I don't feel comfortable not even going outside right now or nothing, or even seeing a cop or anything, because at this point I see a cop and I just feel threatened.
So that's pretty much it. As you see later on, way later on, the cop turns on his lights, just to make it look good. But yeah, the guy ran away, and see, that's the thing. He probably didn't really know, or even if he said he was police, he might have thought he was real police, because like the guy never saw lights, because the guy had already ran by the time the cop turned on his lights. He just noticed somebody with a gun saying this and that, jumping out in plain clothes. That's just not how police should do. If anything, he should have just followed the motorcyclist and called somebody with a like a marked unit. But the bare minimum, turn on your little funky lights and siren so the guy knows that you're a cop. But the thing is here, the cop knew that his dash cam didn't record it, or he ain't had a dash cam of it all. So what do cops do? They just go lie. They cover their ass and then they lie. Like, these are the type of people who are on the streets. Like, this guy should be on the Brady list. We can't trust this guy. We can't trust this cop to tell the truth. Obviously, we see it on video, saying that he used his bike to push him over. The cop ran up on him and stopped pushing him and shoving him and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But and then they actually filed charges on this guy just because what the chief said. Because of course, he's the chief of police. It's a big deal, and this is what it is, and they're gonna file charges. And the only reason, just like he said, because there was a surveillance video from a business. Otherwise, this man, I don't know if he'd been in jail, but he definitely would have been found convicted of whatever charges, simply on what this police officer said, and the officer was lying. So I know a lot of people out here love the cops. I don't like bad cops. This is the definition of a bad cop. I don't think bad cops will get a second chance. How can this guy go and sit in a trial in the future and testify knowing that if he thinks there's no camera going on, that he can lie? Like, being a police officer is a very, very powerful job. You can really totally take over somebody's life. Just like slavery, tell you the truth. Like, the cop pull you over, you got to do what they say. I mean, you don't have to, but you might get hit, you might get beat up, and you might go to jail. But in general, when you get pulled over and whatever, you got to do whatever this cop wants to do. Whether he's right or wrong, you're expected to do what he says, or otherwise he can, quote unquote, legally take aggressive action and hit you and say you was resisting, doing this and that. So that's why these little small things, it's not as simple as making a mistake on any other job. Any other job just doesn't have this amount of power. This type of job, you can make some very egregious mistakes. Okay, if a waiter serves you bad food, okay, just bad food was one night, it really ain't no big deal, get a refund. But if a cop make a mistake, you're in jail for 8 days, eating bad food, you're missing your job. There's a whole big difference. And I think a lot of people really don't understand why people don't like bad cops, because they are granted with some very, very serious power over citizens, when the Constitution allegedly says all men are created equal. But when you get pulled over by police, if you get stopped on the street by police, all men are no longer created equal. So that's my take on it. Just let me know in the comments what you think about bad cops. We definitely need to get these types up out of here.